Okay, so here we are. You can see where she doesn't want me in that right eye, so she leaves. Okay. Now I was trying to lead her around by her girth, but when she leaves, when she left, it slid the rope back around her flanks. That's just how it is. It just happens. So she is just got her mind blown right now. She's totally reacting. She's going back to what she knows. She's just lunging around, aimlessly running around the pen like this, trying to escape this rope around her flanks. And so, what I'm wanting her to do is just settle down and start to think about things. If you notice, I'm not escalating anything. I'm not doing anything. We just pretty much standing there. Now, right there, she tried to solve the problem by coming in, which is good, but she was coming in way too fast. I don't want her to run over me. And maybe she would have stopped. Maybe she wouldn't have. I don't know. When in doubt, wave them off. Let them come on in like they need to. Just respectfully and not threatening like that. So there she goes again. She's going to try to come in again, but she's bucking and still fighting that rope. So I'm like, you need to think about things just a little while longer and stop reacting. Get out of that flight mode and start thinking about things. So there she goes again. She's going back into that, just running around the outside of the pen. She's thinking that's the answer. And see there, she tried to get over in there with her buddies. That wasn't the answer. So she says, "Well, I'll go back to just running around in circles. Maybe I can get away from it. Maybe the pressure will be relieved if I just keep running around like this." And so I said, "No, that's not gonna work." So what I wanted to do is start thinking. I didn't want her to just get locked into that same old stuff. I wanted to think. I wanted to reason this out. So I cut her off and gave her something else to do. So now she's going back to looking at her buddies. It didn't work, so then she comes into me. Tried that. It kind of worked, but she's still a little nervous, so she left again. Okay? She tries to try it again. She stops. Guess what? Rope's off of her feet. You have slack in the rope. She moves around and gets a little tension on it again. So she starts to come in again, and she kind of stops. So what I did is I just picked the rope up and gave a little bit of tension, just a little bit, and there she goes. She comes in, and I release. Big lesson learned. Big lesson learned. She thought she had the answer to everything, and she's figured out that she didn't. And so that's a big deal for her to settle down, get out of that flight mode, settle back down, start thinking again, reasoning things out. She made the right decision to come into me. And so I'm going to give her a big break here. Just let her absorb everything and think about what just happened. Now, all this took place because she did not want me in that right eye. If she would have been okay with me being in her right eye, she wouldn't have tried to leave or get away from me, and all of this wouldn't started. So she went away from me, then she spun to the left, trying to put me back in that left eye. That's when the rope went around her back legs and down on her flanks real far, and things just escalated. So she learned a pretty good lesson here. And so I'm asking her to lead. We're going to start all over again. I put it up on her front end, asked her to lead around her girth. She did, so then I put it back on her flanks. Now she thinks she needed to leave again. And she had to think about things. She thought about it and said, well, maybe that might not be the best idea. So she turns back in, she comes in, everything's released again. And so we're going to just regroup, give her a little bit of a break while I call my rope up, and we're going to try it again. Will you lead? She says, yeah, I think I can do that. I think I can. Now, the issue of her not wanting me in that right eye is going to be addressed, but I'm not going to make that big of a deal with it today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to discourage it a little bit, but I'm not going to make that big of a deal about it right now. Now, the next session, I'm going to make a bigger deal out of it. But this session, I'm not. What I want her doing is thinking, and I want her leading. There. Good. Good. Now, the question again is about how many times I'm going to do this with this particular horse. This horse is never going to be roped off of. I do need her to be okay with things around her flanks, but I don't need to rope this horse. Now, the quarter horse may stay here a little while, and I'm probably going to use it on the ranch, so it needs to be able to be roped off of. But this horse is probably never be roped off of. She's going to be a stadium jumper, trail rider, archery horse. But she does need to get okay with things being around her flanks. She does need to be able to be led mentally and physically by every single part of her body, okay? And so she needs to get over that. I will probably ring rope her again. If you notice, she's trying to not let me in that right eye. I'm having to block her head. I want in that right eye. She let me, that's good, that's good. Give her a break. Got to rub her, pet her for that. But I'm probably going to ring rope her, but not, before I ride her. And for those of you who don't know what ring roping is, I'll have two long leads, one with a metal loop on the end, and the other one will be fastened to her halter. You notice the difference right now. Her circles when she's leaving and coming back is getting smaller and smaller. And pretty soon she's not going to be leaving at all. Again, we're still going to have to deal with that not letting me in on that right eye. But what ring roping is I'll take two long leads. One will be on the halter. The other one will have a metal ring on it. And I'll put it around her flank. And what I'm going to do now, I'm not going to do this until after she understands direction, until I'm able to lead her around the pen with my hand. And what that is, it's going to look like I'm lunging her, but she's not. She's going to be following my hand, and y'all see what I'm talking about later. Now, when she gets that down real good, then I will ring rope her again, because you do not want this horse something happening and getting something around her flank or something tickling her down there and her running off. So she has to get okay with this. And but this session right here will go a long ways in preparing her for that. You see how her neck, she's relaxed. Her head's lowered, and she's just following now. She's okay with it being around her flanks. It's not disturbing her anymore, or not like it was. So I'm going to put the rope on her foot. And we're going to lead by her feet. Now, I've never picked this horse's foot up. I don't know how she is. She's a little apprehensive about it, so I'm not just going to dive in there and pick up her foot like I did with that quarter horse. So I'm asking her to lead. Didn't quite understand what I'm asking. I'm just going to hold that foot out. There you go. See how I went to the side just a little bit? I was pulling straight in, and what they'll do is a lot of times when you're pulling straight away from them, they'll pull straight back. If you go to the side just a little bit, it'll help them out, and it'll unlock them, and they'll come on in and follow. It's easier to get them to lead in a circle than it is in a straight line. And if you notice, she's doing it real nice. Right now, she's not even thinking about leaving. Now you're going to notice that as I'm going towards her for her back feet, she doesn't want me back there. She doesn't want me. She's still protecting her hindquarters, and but she's not leaving. All she's doing is walking backwards. So what I'm going to do is in a non-threatening way, as non-threatening as I can, I'm just going to kind of drift with her until she stops and lets me back there. There, I'm just drifting with her. I'm not being threatening. I just want to get in that back zone. You see me I was setting a trap for that foot. And she keeps stepping around it. So I'm just going to keep messing with her until I get that foot caught. Now, if you notice, she's not going backwards anymore. She kind of stopped. She's kind of letting me get back there. She's still apprehensive, but she's kind of settling down, and I'm rubbing her. You can't see it, but I'm kind of rubbing her on her back foot, rubbing her down her rump and down her leg, and she finally lifts it and lets me put the rope on. So then we're going to lead by that back leg, and you see me kind of just lifting it a little. I don't want to excite her too much. She's doing real good. I don't want to punish her by getting too fast, asking her to do too much right now. She's doing really well. She's doing exactly what I want her to do. She's staying with me. She's following me when I walk off. Now she's blocking me from going to the other side because she says, I want you to quit messing with that foot. Again, I'm just not going to make a big deal about it. I'm just going to keep going. Now, she did good. I don't want to keep doing this till she leaves, okay? I don't want her to think she has to leave. But I want her to lead. I want to make sure she's leading. You see how I went way out, and I put a little tension on the foot and see if she would follow, and she did. She come off of it. She come off of that pressure and got right behind me. That was good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that foot up, get her used to it being pulled up, wait till she's not kicking at it anymore and wanting to pull it away. Wait till she's a little easy with it. I'm gonna reach down and put a loop in it. Now you need to be careful doing this because she doesn't have a halter on. She's not restrained. She could very easily lunge forward and just kick my brains out. So you really have to watch the horse when you're doing this. And what I mean by watching the horse is making sure that the horse has relaxed and is calm before you try to take that rope off. And she's still kind of apprehensive. Now you see again, I'm getting on that right-hand side. She doesn't like me over there. She definitely doesn't like me over there next to her hindquarters. But again, I'm just going to keep drifting with her. And you notice she's not leaving. She's staying right here with me. She has learned, or maybe not totally learned, but it has been ingrained in her today that the best place for her to be in all of Texas, the best place for her to be is right here by me. Not running around the outside of that arena. Not running around the outside of that round pen. She needs to be right here by me. So I set a trap, set her foot in it, got her foot caught. Now, again, she has a problem with that right side, so we're going to see what she does. See if she thinks she's got to leave or if she's going to stay right here with me. Going to get back in that right eye, blocking her head. She's trying to block me out. Not going to let her. Asking her to lead, and she leads. And she leaves me in that eye. Good thing. Good deal. And she's doing her best to put me back in that left eye. But I keep swapping back and forth. I say, okay, we'll do it to the other side. See if you can come this way. She can. She's doing real well. Really good. Really good. Totally different horse. Totally changed. Now this is what I mean by you're leading the horse mentally and physically. She's not just having a halter around her neck and being drug, or being made to lead, or being made to stand tied or whatever. Now she's actually desiring it. She's actually wanting to be led. I reached down and I took the rope off, same way. Made a loop, pulled it up, let it off the foot. Now I'm offering her to lead again. And she's doing it, doing great. She's staying with me. Kind of reassure her again. I want to get over on that right side before I leave, before it's over with. Reassure her it's okay. Then I'm going to leave. I'm going to exit the round pen. Now she's locked on. She's good. She's leading. That's awesome. So I'm going to get out of the round pen. And I'm going to release her completely. In just a second, she's still decided, should I go to my buddies? Should I stay here with him? I'll go back to my buddies. Okay, so she decides to go on back to the other horses. Then I'm out of the picture. And so then I enter the round pen again. And you can see her when I start messing with the fence. She takes, or at the gate, she takes a few steps towards me and she's watching me. I enter the round pen and I'll offer her to lead again. Same thing I did the first time when I first entered the pen, and she led. She came to me. Awesome. Mission accomplished. Okay. Now this horse has learned a lot today. She learned how to give the pressure mentally and physically. She learned to lead mentally and physically. It's a big deal for this type of horse. This was big. She's a very sensitive horse. The things that she went through today meant a lot to her mentally. It stressed her out. But now she's like, okay, you really want to leave? Won't you hang out a little longer? But I'll go ahead and release her. She goes back, and we're done.